What would you do if someone judged you the moment they saw you? On a flight from New York to Los Angeles, a wealthy woman mocked a poor-looking single dad, believing he didn't belong on the plane. She laughed at his worn clothes and old luggage, never imagining that he was hiding an extraordinary secret. But when a mid-air emergency shocked the entire cabin, and the captain asked a life-changing question, everything changed in an instant. Stay with us until the end to discover how one humble father earned the respect of an entire airplane. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. And let's get started. The rich woman settled comfortably into her first-class seat on a flight from New York to Los Angeles. Dressed in an expensive designer outfit, she spent the boarding process checking her phone and occasionally glancing around the cabin. Her attention was soon drawn to a tired-looking single father making his way down the aisle with his young son. The man carried an old duffel bag over one shoulder, while helping the boy manage a small backpack. Their clothes were neat, but clearly worn from years of use. The father smiled patiently as he guided his son to their seats in economy class. As they passed through first class, the woman wrinkled her nose in disapproval. Loud enough for nearby passengers to hear, she muttered that some people looked like they belonged on a bus instead of an airplane. A few travelers exchanged uncomfortable looks, but nobody responded. The father heard the remark. Yet he kept walking without saying a word. His son glanced up at him, confused by the woman's tone. The father simply smiled and told the boy not to worry. Once seated, the father spent his time making sure his son was comfortable. He helped him buckle his seatbelt, arranged a small pillow behind his back, and shared snacks he had packed from home. Their quiet conversation was filled with laughter and warmth. The boy excitedly talked about seeing the Pacific Ocean for the first time, while his father listened carefully to every word. Meanwhile, the rich woman continued making judgmental comments. Whenever she walked past economy class, she glanced at the father and son with obvious contempt. She complained to a flight attendant that some passengers looked unprofessional and out of place. The attendant politely ignored the remark and continued working. Despite the negativity directed at him, the father remained calm and focused entirely on his child. His dignity and patience stood in sharp contrast to the woman's behavior. As the aircraft cruised high above the clouds, most passengers forgot about the unpleasant encounter. None of them knew that within a few hours, an unexpected emergency would reveal a side of the quiet, single father that would leave the entire plane speechless. About 2 hours into the flight, the peaceful atmosphere inside the cabin was suddenly interrupted. A flight attendant hurried down the aisle with a worried expression. Speaking quietly into a phone connected to the aircraft's communication system, moments later, the captain's voice came over the speakers. His normally confident tone carried a hint of urgency. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a situation that requires immediate assistance. If there are any licensed pilots on board, please identify yourselves to a member of the cabin crew." The announcement instantly changed the mood of the flight. Conversation stopped. Passengers looked at one another wondering what had happened. Even the rich woman, who had spent much of the journey criticizing the single father, sat up straight in concern. For several seconds nobody moved. Then from the economy section, the single dad calmly stood from his seat. He reassured his son with a gentle smile and handed a small identification card to a nearby flight attendant. Her eyes widened as she read it. Within moments, she nodded respectfully and escorted him toward the cockpit. Whispers spread throughout the cabin. Passengers were stunned to learn that the quiet father was not just a licensed pilot, but a highly respected former commercial captain and decorated Air Force aviator. The same man who had been mocked for his simple appearance possessed years of experience flying complex aircraft. The rich woman felt her face grow hot with embarrassment as she watched him disappear into the cockpit. She remembered every cruel comment she had made and wished she could take them back. Nearly an hour later, the aircraft landed safely. As passengers exited, many thanked the father for his help. Several even applauded. The rich woman approached him nervously and apologized for judging him based on his appearance. The father accepted her apology with grace. Holding his son's hand, he smiled and replied, "You never really know someone's story by looking at them." The woman stood silently as he walked away. For the first time that day, she understood a lesson far more valuable than wealth. True character is revealed through actions, not appearances.